Yeah, so my name is Saskia Wenzel, and I did want to mention, Mike, that I was indeed born in East Germany, but it was in the year the wall came down, so I can't really share any fun stories from the time. And luckily, we don't have to think in these categories of East and West Germany anymore.
And you are calling from, are you in Berlin right now? Where are you?
No, I'm in Leipzig, which is where I live, which is former East Germany. This is how this is probably also why this project is a little bit more than just a digitization project to me. And it might also be a little different from the ones that you already heard about. Yes, so the Gruyter is digitizing the book archive of the Akademie Verlag. That is about 10,000 books from East Germany's largest scientific publisher. I put a title onto this mini presentation that is Lifting the Science Iron Curtain, because when we pitched the project internally and also externally, we were often faced with the assumption that the content is biased by socialist and Soviet influence and probably not worth digitizing. Well, it might be true that it is influenced. We also know that any content is always influenced by the time and the circumstances it was published under. So we believe that we shouldn't judge these books by their covers, right? And therefore, on the next slides, I'd like to walk you through the project itself and the Akademie publishing house and the books that were digitized to hopefully make you understand why this project matters to us in the content as well. Yes, the project is a long-time project, and everyone who's ever done a digitization project, the three people that presented before me can probably agree with me. Any digitization project is always a long-time project. Back in 2013, the Gruyter acquired the Akademie Verlag together with the Oldenburg Verlag, and we digitized the Oldenburg books along with the De Gruyter book archive books. But we never digitized the Akademie Verlag books, basically because we didn't know where they were. But luckily, in 2018, the Berlin-Brandenburg Academy of Sciences approached us because they said, "Hey, we've got those books. They are in a warehouse. You can see that in the picture on the right-hand side, and we also have them in the academy. In the warehouse, they were stored. There were on the right-hand side there were washing machines. On the left-hand side there were probably fridges, and in between was the whole scientific output of a whole country." We came to an agreement with the Academy of Sciences in 2020, and they donated all the books to us. And in 2022, we did a first examination of the books, both in the Academy and in the warehouse, and were able to scan the first 5,000 books through the De Gruyter Book Archive project. But we soon realized that this project needed a little bit more dedication, and we were very happy that we were able to launch the Akademie Book Archive project in 2023 with a dedicated budget and a dedicated team. And we currently have 3 people in the Berlin office who are deduplicating the books. So they are getting them from the warehouse and from the academy. They're going through them box by box and book by book, deduplicating them and capturing the first basic bibliographic metadata for all the books. And they're sending them on to a service provider in Romania for scanning. Between 2023, the summer of 2023, and now early 2024, we were able to scan 3,000 additional books. And we're also enhancing these scans with additional metadata that we are not able to capture during the scan process, or that we're not able to capture while we're deduplicating them. That is, for instance, bisect codes, keywords, and so on. A lot of the work that we still have to do in phase 2 of our project, in Mary's words, is sourcing additional books from libraries and the secondhand book market, because same as with the APS, there is no overview of what was ever published by the Akademie Verlag, and we know that what was in the boxes and in the academy is not complete, and we have to go out and find additional sources. We're looking at the records of the State Library of Berlin. We're looking at the records of the German National Library, and we're also sourcing from other libraries in the secondhand book market. We still think that we will be able to finish this project in the summer of 2025, although we know that a digitization project can never really be complete. So this will stay for us for a while longer, probably still. Next slide, please. To understand the Akademie Verlag better, you have to believe, I believe that you have to go back in time a little bit. On the logo of the Akademie Verlag, you see Leibniz, the philosopher, his face, and his motto, Theoria cum praxi, which is theory together with practice. Leibniz founded one of the first academies of sciences in Germany, the Kurfürstlich-Brandenburgische Sozietät der Wissenschaften. We always go with long names for our academies of sciences. And his motto is actually, I had to smile a little bit because it's very similar to Benjamin Franklin's useful knowledge motto, because Leibniz considered every research to have practical value, and that there shouldn't be any research only for knowledge's own sake. This also had a reason, because in Leibniz's time, Europe was war-torn and improvement of health and living was much needed. And so science was supposed to help with that. The Academy later turned into the Prussian Academy of Sciences. Members included the Grimm brothers, Alexander von Humboldt, Albert Einstein, Max Planck, and others. And some of these members had actually also published with de Gruyter, or better said, with one of the publishing houses that were merged together by Walter de Gruyter in 1919, which shows again how closely linked the history of the Akademie Verlag is with de Gruyter's own history. Well, then came World War II, and as a consequence, Germany was divided into the West and the Socialist East under the influence of the Soviet Union, and Germany, in particular Berlin, lay in ruins. Can we go back to the slide before that? Thanks. Many of the cooperations and boundaries in the research community were divided up as well. And the Prussian Academy of Sciences ceased to exist, and the German Academy of Sciences was founded in East Berlin, which then also resulted in the foundation of the Akademie Verlag as part of the Academy of Sciences in 1946. Leibniz's motto was probably also still very true in the founding years of the Akademie Verlag, because things had to be rebuilt. And again, science was supposed to help with that. And that's why they chose Leibniz's head and his motto, Theoria cum praxi, as the logo of the Akademie Verlag. Next slide. The Akademie Verlag was once called the Mercedes of the East German scientific publishers. And some of the works and authors on this slide actually speak for this title. Renowned works of the Akademie Verlag include the Leibniz edition, which includes all written works of Leibniz, and also very famous dictionaries and for German, Old High German, and Ancient Egyptian. The Ancient Egyptian one's actually shown on the picture on the right-hand side too. Other renowned authors include Margaret Mackison Green, whose books we found in one of the boxes. She was an anthropologist and very early in the 1960s, very early researcher of Igbo in the Igbo culture in Nigeria, and she actually published in English with the Akademie Verlag. Wolfgang Heise was a philosopher and a teacher of the later East German dissident Wolf Biermann. Wolf Biermann actually called him East Germany's only true philosopher. Max Schönwetter, another ornithologist, also maybe known to the APS, who knows. He published a publication of all at his time known eggs, birds' eggs, and had a collection of 20,000 eggs from 4,000 species that still exists, still at the University of Halle. Wolfgang Gleisberg was an astronomer and researcher of sunspots. We found out that there is an 80 to 90 year cycle in the sun that is still named after him. and Ernst Grumach, an East German editor of Goethe's and Aristotle's works, who is also the founder of the journal Katmos, which is still published by the Gruyter today. A lot of these books are very valuable primary sources. In fact, a lot of the books were so renowned that the publisher sold licenses to West German publishers, and in later years turned this into an actual business model in order to get foreign currency into the country. However, a lot of the works went out of print and were never published again. But we believe that it is our duty to digitize them again, since the output is just as valuable as any West German or quote-unquote capitalist output would be. We have digitized the Gruyter Book Archive, which is the West German equivalent to the Akademie Book Archive. And we think that without the Akademie Book Archive, Germany's scientific output would never be completely available. So coming back to the beginning of lifting the science iron curtain, we think it's very easy to forget what was going on behind the iron curtain, but the people on the other side, for instance, the names that are on this slide, were legit researchers, and they deserve that their output is preserved for future generations. And that is what the Akademie project is actually about. So, thank you.